Good morning, Aggieland, and welcome to Right, the Texas A&M University Writing Center student podcast. I'm your host, Megan Wall, and we're playing the Who Wants to Be a Writer game. The focus today is on conclusions. Test how knowledgeable you are when it comes to the last words of an essay. Do you know why conclusions are important, how you write them, or the common mistakes people make when writing them? Play along and find out the answers to these questions and more up next.
Hi, I'm Reggie Philman, and welcome to Who Wants to Be a Writer? Our first contestant is Julie Farmer from Plantersville, Texas. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Reggie.
We're happy to have you. So, you know about the rules. Each question has 4 possible answers, and if you need help, you have 3 lifelines. Ask the audience, a 50-50, and a phone a friend. Okay, Julie, the first question is for $1,000. Which one of the following is not a reason conclusions are important? A, they give the essay a sense of completeness. B, they leave a final impression on the reader. C, they help reiterate the thesis statement. D, they are the easiest part of the paper to write.
I'm gonna go with B because I don't think they leave a final impression on the reader.
I'm sorry, but the correct answer was D, because conclusions are not the easiest part of the paper to write. In fact, they're usually one of the hardest because writers feel that they have nothing left to say after having written the paper. Better luck next time, Julie. Now on to our next contestant, Mike Goodman from Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome to the show, Mike. Let's see what you can do. What is a good phrase to use when starting your conclusion? A, in conclusion. B, in summary. C, in closing. D, there is no set format or phrase in writing a good conclusion. Just use a good transition that is original and catches the reader's attention.
I'm going with D, because there is no set format or phrase for writing a good conclusion. You should just use a good original transition that catches the reader's attention.
That's correct! Okay, Mike, we're now going to go for $10,000. When writing your conclusion, which technique should you use? A, just include a summary of your paper's main points and restate your thesis statement. B, state your thesis for the first time to surprise the reader and tie the paper together. C, synthesize by demonstrating how your evidence fits together to create new meaning. D, add in new information that you couldn't fit in anywhere else.
Well, I know that's not B, because the paper should always state the thesis at the beginning and not wait until the end. And I know it's not D, because adding random information at the end of the essay will just create confusion. I'd like to use one of my lifelines, Reggie's, and call my mom.
And what is your mom's name, Mike?
Her name is Rose.
Okay, let's get Rose on the line.
Hello?
Hi, Rose. This is Reggie from Who Wants to Be a Writer? And we've got your son, Mike, here.
Hi, Mom. So do you want to summarize or synthesize in your conclusion?
The summary is just simply repeating what you've already said. How boring would that be? You need to show them how the points you made and the support and examples that you used were not random but fit together, and that is called synthesizing.
Okay, Mom, I got it. The answer is C. When writing your conclusion, you should synthesize by demonstrating how your evidence fits together and create new meaning. Final answer.
That is correct! All right, you're doing great. How about we go for $100,000? Which question is used as a strategy to help you write an effective conclusion? A, then who? B, so what? C, but when? D, then where?
I'm going to need some help on this one. I'll take a 50-50.
All right, computer, take away 2 possible answers. So now you're down to B, so what? And C, but when?
Well, I'm not positive, so I'm going to take a guess and say C, but when?
Oh! I'm sorry, Mike. The correct answer was, so what? But you still get $10,000. Great job! Okay, our next player is Taylor Thompson from San Francisco, California. Welcome to the show, Taylor.
Hi, Reggie. It's great to be here.
Well, no time to waste. Let's get started. For $1,000, fill in the blank. Introductions can sometimes act as a what to your essay? A, a river. B, a ship. C, a bridge. D, a dock.
An introduction and conclusion frame your thoughts and bridge your ideas for the reader. So I'm going to go with C, bridge.
That is correct. The introduction can act as a bridge that transports readers from their own lives into the place of the analysis, and the conclusion provides a bridge that can bring them back to their daily lives. All right, now let's go for $10,000. What technique can be used to echo the introduction? A. Just restating your thesis in the conclusion. B. Creating a scenario in the introduction and picking it back up in the conclusion. C. Making an emotional appeal in the conclusion. D. Asking your readers questions to help them gain a new perspective on the topic.
Well, I know that it can't be A or C because those would be what not to do. Now, while asking questions that make people reevaluate their own views is a good conclusion writing strategy, it doesn't fit the description of the question. That's why I'm going to go with B. Echoing the introduction is when you create a scenario in the introduction and pick it back up in the conclusion.
That's correct. The strategy of echoing the introduction can help bring the reader full circle by taking the original scenario a step further. All right, you're on a roll. Let's go for $100,000. What type of conclusion writing strategy can be used in an argumentation essay? A. A proposal conclusion. B. A prescription conclusion. C. A persuasive conclusion. D. An apologetic conclusion.
Well, I know it's not D, an apologetic conclusion, because in an argumentative essay, the purpose is to persuade the reader of your ideas, and an apology would undercut that attempt. I think the word we are looking for is a proposal conclusion. That is because the writer is arguing for a change and therefore would ask the readers to do something with a call to action. I'll go with A, a proposal conclusion.
That's right! You've got $100,000! Proposal conclusion can redirect readers' thought processes and help them to apply your info and ideas to their own life or to see the broader implications. Well, Taylor, you're just 2 questions away from $1 million. How about we go for $500,000? Which of the following is not a strategy for redirecting your readers in your conclusion? A. Challenging the reader. B. Avoiding the reader. C. Looking to the future. D. Posing questions.
Can I ask the audience?
Sure thing, Taylor. All right, if everyone in the audience could take out their keypads and please select A, B, C, or D. All right, answer B was the majority vote, with 55% of people saying that avoiding the reader was not a strategy for redirecting readers.
It seems that by issuing a challenge to your readers, you are helping them to redirect the information in the paper, and they may apply it to their own lives. So I guess we'll have to go with the audience and say that B, avoiding the reader, is not a strategy for redirecting readers in the conclusion.
You are right for $500,000! And now, for the $1 million question. What service does the Texas A&M University Writing Center provide? A. Guaranteed A's on all of your papers. B. Free food and drink for aspiring writers. C. A chance to become pen pals with singles nationwide. D. Assistance with conclusion writing, as well as all your other writing needs.
Well, as a recent graduate from Texas A&M University, I know a few things about the Writing Center, but I know I always did considerably better on the papers I took to the Writing Center for help. So, I guess my answer would have to be D. That's my final answer.
Well, you might want to give a little back to them now because you are correct! You've just won $1 million! Congratulations. Well, that's the last word on writing conclusions for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Who Wants to Be a Writer?
Thanks, Reggie. We'll be hearing from him again soon when some more aspiring writers test their knowledge of the writing process. I'd like to thank Randa Holloway, Joe Matheson, and Judith Kilborn from St. Cloud State University for their strategies on conclusion writing that were used in this podcast. For a link to their handout and more information on writing conclusions, look on the website at www.uwc.tamu.edu in the Resources section under Bibliography. There you can find a link to all of the steps of the writing process. And for more help on conclusion writing, don't hesitate to stop by the Writing Center here on the 2nd floor of Evans Library, where, as Taylor said, we can help you with all of your writing needs. As always, I'm Megan Wall, hoping you'll join us again next time for another exciting episode of Write Right.